Hey y'all, what's up? Um, I'm back with another video, trying to be consistent. It's not that easy trying to be vulnerable and stuff like that. And I know it's like I know I'm doing the Lord's work, so like that's the main reason why I'm doing it. To be honest, I'd rather just sometimes I would rather just like hide away somewhere in some small country where I'm the foreign girl and you know what I mean? I just got a little job, you know? Um, but I know that there's no way I've been through the things that I've been through and know the things that I know and I can't just not share that. So and I think that the way my relationship with God is set up is like I think he understands that I work better under pressure. I mean, I know it's a little bit of the programming and the things, my circumstances I was born into and stuff, but um, I really do get the ball rolling um, when I gotta, do it fast when I'm under pressure. So, and before it gets to any real pressure like it was a couple of videos ago, I'm like, let me just try. I mean, that was the deal. I did say, like, if you just, God, help me and let me get out of this little hole, then I'll go ahead and I'll start doing the content thing. So, um, yeah, so here I am. I didn't really know what I wanted to talk about, but I do know that I just want to kind of like share my everyday experiences. So I had a client like 2 days ago. I have a salon suite, and I had a client, and I was just telling her. Well, she had some hair issues due to her health, and so I kind of mentioned like holistic health. I asked her if she was into um, uh, like other alternatives as far as health, like natural alternatives, and so she was saying that she hadn't really. And then I mentioned yoga too because I practice yoga, and she said the thing that I really hate that people say. And I only hate it because it's not true. But she was like, oh, that's the devil. And so I was like, all right, well, I tried to like, ask her transformative questions, and I tried to like give her a little bit of information on what I knew. And then she just wasn't trying to, like, she was cutting me off, and I just let her because she really is she's a client, so if that's how she feels, that's how she feels. But that did give me um, the thing that maybe I feel like I should talk about, which is yoga. So I kind of want to like clear that. I know that people in my community, a lot of them say stuff like that. Like they think that it's devil worship or witchcraft. And I just want to let you know, if you're one of those people, it's absolutely not that. Yoga, the word itself, yoga means union. And what you're coming into union with is yourself, is the God within you, with your breath, with your body. That's literally all yoga is. So, I mean, I could go way deeper than that, but I'm still learning myself. I just got my certification to become a yoga instructor last January. So I do know a little bit about it, but like I said, I'm still learning for myself. So that's why I'm not even teaching it. I'd rather learn more about it first. But yeah, it's not like that. Yoga is it's basically like a frame to sit your life in, kind of. So I'll say this. They like to compare yoga to like a tree, and on the tree there's 8 limbs, and that's what yoga is. So the first four limbs of yoga is like what I like to refer to as like the yogi lifestyle. So the first two limbs, yama and niyama, it just means your relationship with your inner world and your relationship with the outer world. Almost you can compare it to the Ten Commandments. Like thou shalt not steal, and when yoga refers to stealing, obviously it means not stealing like from people, but it also means like wanting what other people have. That's a form of like stealing, you know what I mean? Which I thought was interesting. Another one, from yama and niyama is like cleanliness. Did you know that? um, Another one is checking in with yourself. These are just the, remember the 10 commandments that I was comparing it to. Those are the five. Five are based on your relationship with yourself, your inner world, and then the other five are the ones based on your outer world. I can go into more detail if you're ever interested in that. Just, this is weird saying this, but drop a comment or something. Let me know that you would want me to talk more about yoga, and I will. I'm not a forceful person, as you can tell with my conversation that I had with my client. Like, I didn't force her. As soon as she cut me off, I let her, finish what she wanted to say, and then I kind of left it at that because I know I'm not here to argue about that. You know what I mean? And I don't believe in arguing with somebody about something that they don't know anything about. So as soon as she felt that she didn't want to hear, or she, you know what I mean, I just left it at that. So I'm not here to force people into yoga or persuade people into yoga. I'm just sharing my experience, and how I think that yogas are great. I was so inspired. I actually went to train and become an instructor, a teacher, to talk about it and know what I'm talking about. So yeah, so I kind of feel like that's a great conversation to have, is not even just yoga, but being more open-minded as a community. Like, to me, everything is like, has been like tarnished or manipulated or changed. Everything. So I wouldn't put it past the powers that be that maybe they have their own reasons why they would say yoga is demonic. They have their reasons why they might want to say that. So I don't believe that. I like to, and I have a very great relationship with God. So I feel like God actually sent it to me. I finally feel like I have a community that I belong to. And I don't even mean like a community of people. I mean just like a framework to put my life into that is non-judgmental. Yoga doesn't talk about going to hell or things like that. You know what I mean? Like, or how you're a sinner. What if, I personally don't know if I know that I don't know how to talk about it too much yet, or I'm not comfortable talking about it because I don't want to be judged or misunderstood. But I don't know, like I said, I just feel like the powers that be have their reasoning to instill everything with fear. Make you think that, everything has to go back to them. And I don't really necessarily believe in that. So I use yoga and I use hiking as like kind of like my therapies, you know what I mean? Like if I'm stressed or sad or don't know what to do, even shocked, like mad about something, I'll go hiking or go practice some yoga. You know what I mean? The yoga is really just stretching and breathing, which is what I love about it. But there's other things too that I've like been into too, like acupuncture, acupressure, hypnotization, even IVs. You know what I mean? Like I've tried lots and lots of different things, and had lots and lots of experiences to help me along this journey. And I don't think any of it is demonic. Like I All you have to do is just educate yourself on it, because fear has been programmed into us, or fear has been educated into us. So just like how it has been educated into us, you can educate it out of you too. That's all you have to do. Is just do a little bit of research on things, instead of being like, nope, it's the devil. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not an open-minded way of thinking. And also, it doesn't mean that because you practice yoga or you research yoga, it doesn't mean that like you're turning your back on God, or that you're a sinner. So I think that's important to say. And then I was telling my client about, manifesting what I want, and she was just like, that's witchcraft. Only God can manifest. And I'm thinking, like I said, I wasn't gonna argue, but I was just thinking, like, no, I think, like, how can that be if there's free will too, right? Like, I feel like if there's free will, which it obviously is, that's why it's all this crazy stuff going on. So it's obviously true that there is free will. Then I should be able to manifest, right? Like my thoughts become things, right? Like everything was a thought first, right? My notebook was a thought first. Somebody thought of this. They thought of the design, the colors that they wanted, and then the price. They thought of it, and then they actually manifested it. They did what they had to do. I think, like I said in the last video, I think we're all talking about the same thing. To me, we're talking about the same thing, but just it's a different name. It's just a different name, but we're talking about the same thing. I think that's really important for people to start understanding now. It's like, be a little bit more open-minded, be a little bit more open-hearted. And I read this a really amazing book called Conversations with God, and it was basically about the author himself asking God in a dialogue form every question you've ever wanted to ask God, and then God was answering him. And one of the questions that he had was, why do bad things happen to good people? And God responded back, or his God responded back and said, well, because the good people see it as bad, but it's really not about being bad. You actually need bad to know good, to be able to appreciate good. You can appreciate when you're up because you know how it feels to be down. So you kind of need both of them. And that's what his answer was, and that kind of made sense to me. So, and another thing that he said, which is what I want to leave you guys with, is every thought that you've ever had comes from either love or fear. Every single thought. So a good way to know if you're open-minded and if you're open-hearted is to, when you're thinking of something, when you're making a tough decision in your life and you feel the fear, and the first thing you think is, well, what if this bad happens, or what if that? Check that. See if the thoughts you're having, see if it comes from love or fear. Because God didn't instill us with fear. Man did. So I like to use that all the time, like when I'm scared to do something, like even coming on here, or when I asked my ancestors, like my spiritual guides, to like let me know, like I was kind of scared because like of what we've been taught in church, right? Like to fear that, you know what I mean? To fear, and all of these things, and the devil, and you're gonna go to hell. Like that's kind of like Santa Claus type of stuff to me. I don't want y'all in the comments eating me up, thinking that I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm very open-minded and open-hearted to people's different perspectives, but I've certainly done a lot of like praying and meditating and searching and asking and writing and talking and singing to God and to know what I know. So it was just crazy though, like to see my client, and she was just basically like feeling like, you know, her God is the only God. And I'm just thinking, how could you think like that? Like, that's such a small-minded way to think. Because, well, so does it make everybody else who believes in a God wrong? Or their God less? Like, wouldn't it make more sense that we all, it's kind of, I don't know, like, it makes more sense to me that we all are talking about the same life force energy thing. God, whatever you want, consciousness. And that's all I was saying was like, yes, I believe in the same things, but I see it in I feel like my perspective is so much more zoomed out that I could see like the bigger picture that, hey, we're all talking about the same thing. You know, and she couldn't. She's just like, it has to be specifically this, it's this one. No, it's not anything else. And I'm like, I don't know about that. So what I want for this channel, and I hope that I convey that right, but I want you to know I'm here to, I want people to know that they can believe in themselves. I want to show you how you could trust yourself, and how, I don't know, I kind of wrote it out actually. Let me see. Yesterday, because I was just thinking about like what exactly I want. Got all these things, but I want to like show you how to alleviate some of the fears, and like to even know that that it is a fear and it's not you. Like how to identify, like create space between you and the fear. I think I know how to do that pretty well. Change your lives for the better. So like just feeling like you're alone or like you're in a rut, you don't know what to do. Or, you know, just a friendly reminder to not be so hard on yourself. And last but not least, certainly not, just to bring you closer to God, which I think is within. You know, I think that everything that you need, you're longing for, is within. I think you was born with the truth. That's why you don't, I don't know, this is debatable nowadays, but like, you literally were born with the truth. So, a certain knowledge, like you don't have to tell your body to breathe. You know what I mean? You don't have to tell your heart to pump. It knows what to do without any fears. And I think we be knowing what to do, but we get caught up in the fears. All of the programming. So, I don't know, like if you, would be great if you would comment, like, share, subscribe, I think. And there'll be more to come. I'm just trying to, I don't know what I'm doing. Honestly, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm doing this because that's the promise that I made to God. That was the deal. I'm like, God, if you really help me this time, I swear to God, I'm going to go ahead and do what you asked me to do. So like, that's how that happened. So now I'm just here and I'm talking about it, and hopefully I'll get the next thing to do or some kind of inspiration. And I hope that I hope my light helped you like see something today that you may not have seen, that was in the dark and it was there all along. So, okay, I love you. Bye.